learn today? We will learn what's Power Apps in case if you don't know what's Power Apps, and the tips that you need to follow while you are creating any new app. I'm sure that not of you that you know how to create an application, and most of us, they thought that you need to have an IT background or computer engineer background to be able to build any application or any website or anything. So with Power Platform, you can build even if you don't have any background with IT. It's something really easy. You just need to attend a few sessions, or even you can learn it by yourself. Okay, and also what we will learn, how to get started with Power BI, Power Apps, sorry, and from where you can get an access. And also I will do with you a quick live demo. So our session, it will be, today I will give you a basic things about Power Apps. Next session, we will build our first application and we will go deep and deep with Power App. So if you are interested to learn more about Power Apps, you just make sure that you are following me on Twitter or on Meetup, so you will be able to receive a notification email about the upcoming session. So let us move forward. So what's Power Apps? Anyone familiar with Power Apps? Did anyone worked with Power Apps to create any application or something new for you?
Absolutely new, not at all.
Really? So I'm not sure if you are familiar with Power Addicts community. Actually, in Twitter, just follow hashtag Power Addicts. They are a great community. Actually, they are posting a lot of things related to Power Platform. Power Apps is just one tool related to the whole package we have it from Microsoft. Power Apps, it's a tool from Microsoft. Actually, it helps us to build an application without having, as I mentioned, any computer engineer background, IT background, something really easy. You just need to learn a few things and you can create 100 million application. Actually, it's something really easy. But you need to follow a few steps to learn more about it. And actually, with Power Apps, you will be able to connect to a different data source. So you can connect to Microsoft data source, such as a SharePoint, Dynamics 365, and more and more. Even you can connect your application to the Excel sheet. So it depends on your scenario or business case, that what do you want to connect, or what kind of data source that you want to have it in your application. So Power Apps, it's a tool that help you to build your user interface and connected with a different system. We have it within Microsoft, such as Power BI, it's a dashboard. We have Power Automate and a lot of cool stuff. While we are attending a lot of sessions that I will help it, maybe by next week, I will do another session. You will see how we can connect a different tools from a Power Platform. But today I will focus on what kind of things that you can do it with Power Apps and what kind of tips that you need to follow. So let us move forward. And team, if you have any question, you can ask. You can stop me anywhere and ask the question, okay? So let me move now. So what kind of tips that we need to follow to create any application? First, you need to have a problem or idea. So for example, if I want to build an application, I cannot go to my laptop and I want to now to create an application. No, it's not like this. If you want to have an application with a great value and give impact to your business or to your company, even to your own business, you need to come up with a great idea or a good idea or something that will give you a value at the end. You don't want to waste your time on something at the end without any value. So first, get an idea. If you don't have an idea, look at the problem. And we have a lot of problems in our lives. So for sure, just pick them, write it on your paper, list the problems that you see that, oh, I want to fix this problem. Then for sure, when you have a problem, you want to have a solution. Then you need to move to the second step, which is identify the need. It means I have a problem. For example, let's assume that I have a problem. I have a lot of assets on my company. And the only way that to track my asset is I'm writing everything on my paper, which is not a good idea. Actually, if I have a million assets, it will be a problem for me and to my company. And let's assume that I'm working on a huge company and I have more than 2K assets maybe per week to track. So it's really something difficult for me, for my team to track this asset. So now I have a problem. Now, how should I create an app, or what kind of features or what kind of things that I will come with this application? So now you are identifying the need behind this application. Then you will think, what kind, for example, for this issue that I have it, what kind of features or what kind of things that I can have it on my application. So I will automate the whole normal process to be as an application. I can track my assets easily. Even if I want to add an asset, I can do it while we are using my phone rather than going back to my paper or to my Excel sheet to type all the assets. And even I can do a lot of things. So after I get the problem, identify the need, what should I do? Now I need to start think about the flow, think about the features, think about what kind of things that I can add it to my application, what kind of pattern, what kind of flow that I need to create. And we know what the meaning of flow. A flow that we have it while we are doing any application or any dashboard or anything related to the digital. A flow, it means actually, for example, I'm creating an application to track an asset, okay? So behind the tracking the asset, there is an action needed. For example, if I select this asset and I want to send a reminder to one of my team. So this one, we call it a flow. So there is some action I need to add it to my application. And you know what? There is a tool, we have it within Microsoft. It helped me to build an amazing flow on whatever I want, which is Power Automate, which is, we will learn it later on. So that's what mean a flow and the features. So list your flow, draw your flow, or you can type what kind of features you want to have in your application. Then you can move to the step, which is remove non-core features. What that mean? Now I know I want to have an amazing application. I want everyone within my team to use it, but you cannot build 100 features on just one phase, because if you want to have a great application, everyone, they will use it and they will look at what's next. You need to build step by step. It means, for example, I have 100 features. I need to add it to my application. Divide it to be 2, 50-50. It means with this scenario or with this way, you will be able to deliver a good application on a good time with a great value, and you will let the people know what will be next. They will be excited to know, oh, we want to have more feature. Maybe they will have their own opinion. Maybe they want to add a new features that you'd never think about it, which is, we will comment maybe on number 7. We will have a new things to think about it with your team or colleague. After you list or remove non-core features from your list, you need to start work on wireframe. What's the meaning of wireframe? Let me show you something, and which is here. Just a minute, let me open it. This one, we call it wireframe. This one I created by myself before I start doing any application. I get my problem, I identify my need of this application, start list my features, then remove non-core features. Then I start to build this one, which is here. We call it wireframe. It's similar to the user interface, but here it's for you to know. Let me make it big. To know how your application will work, the flow behind the application. For example, on my scenario, I mentioned that I want to track my asset. So what kind of features I will work on it on first phase, which is I will add a button for all assets. A track asset, I need to add a new asset. It means when the user click on all assets, it will go to the second page, which is this one. So this wireframe, it's your imagination of your future application. What do you want to have in your application? What kind of things you want the user to see? And what kind of flow you need to follow to build your application. For example, here I have this gallery, and the user, when he click on each asset, he will get a full detail, or he will scan the barcode or QR to get the asset information. For example, here I can get the asset barcode, asset number. So this is my imagination of this application and what kind of things I will work on it. This is, we call it a wireframe. It's up to you. And if you want to build it in this way, if you want to write it on your note or anywhere, so it's up to you at the end, because this is what you will work on it in your application. Okay, most of the people, they don't like to do this. They just go to their application and do whatever they want. But for me, I prefer to do step by step, because at the end, I want to give a great application to my business, to my team. So it's better if you write everything in this way. So after I build my wireframe, I'm sure that for the first phase that I will work on this thing, I can move to the next step, which is, go here, we get the problem, which is build the user interface. What's user interface? UI, it's a user interface, so which is the most important part for me, and I really enjoy while I'm doing any user interface for any application or dashboard. My favorite tool to create a user interface is the XD tool, or if you are not familiar with this tool, you can build your user interface by using the easiest tool, which is PowerPoint. But let me show you the user interface that I have it for this application. Just a minute, let me go here. Here, the user interface is different than wireframe, but it will be similar and the same concept of how your application will work. The user interface actually, team, here, it's how the application will look like to your end user, to the owner of this application. If you look here, let me open it. So for example, I would like the user get a pop-up message before he opened the application with this color. Maybe I want to change it. So the user interface, it's the final user interface or the final product, how it will look like. And if you get started, all assets, track asset, add a new asset. So similar way that we have it on the wireframe. Let me show it to you here. But here it's for me. It's for the developer, how you would like to see the application. User interface is the final style or the final product, or how your application will look like. So I'm using XD tool. I will arrange a specific session about it, how we can build a user interface and put it on our application Power Apps. So let me show you something here. So here, for example, I would add all asset, track asset, add a new, all the feature, everything, what my final product will look like, and so on. Then I'm done with creating the user interface. Everything seems it's really great for me. Now what should I do? Let me go back and let's see what should we do. Now what should I do? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now it's your time to start cooking your application and make it functional. You are ready? You need now to go to the Power Apps, log into your Power Apps, and start building your application. Most of you don't know how to access Power Apps or how to use it and all this stuff. I will do after this step. Let us continue the last step, and we can move to the live demo, and I can show you what we can do with Power Apps. So after you create your user interface, now you go to your Power Apps, open your Power Apps to start building your application. It depends on your scenario and user interface, on your business case that you have it. Then after I'm sure now my application is ready. Everything, it seemed fine to me. I would like to show it to the people and publish it. But don't publish it immediately. You need to do one step more before you publish your application, which is test your app and publish it. So what I'm doing actually, or before I publish my product, I sit with the people, a few people, to get their opinion and to see what if my application it needs something modification, or should I remove something. And I let the people to test the application before I publish it to 100 people. So you need to share your application with someone else to get their feedback and to see what kind of things you need to add to your application. So if your application is perfect, you think the phase one is really ready to go, just publish it. And while the people, they are using your application, you will receive a lot of comments. You will receive a lot of message that, can we add this function? Can we remove this function? Can we add? And a lot of comments. Some people, they take it in negative side. Some people, they take it in positive. For me, every time I'm taking in a positive side, because while I'm getting a lot of comments, actually I'm developing myself. Why? Because, the people, when they see anyone creating any application, they thought that you can do the magic, you can build everything. But still, I'm learning. And even you will learn a lot of things while you are solving a problem. And this is the powerful things actually with Power Platform. Every time you are learning new things. And while if you thought that this is the end of you learning the Power Apps or Power BI, you will be surprised by, oh, this is a new, I don't know. And every time you are getting a new update from Power Platform for Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, a lot of tools that we have it from Power Platform. So let us review the whole tips that we have it. Then we can go to do a quick live demo, and I can show you how to access Power Apps. So the first step, as I mentioned, I need to get an idea. And if I'm not that much creative and I cannot think that much, look at the problems that you have it in your business or in your own business and see how you can fix it. Identify what kind of things that you will get it from creating a new application. Then start building your flow, how the application will look like, what kind of features that you want to have it in your application. Then remove the non-core features and divide your application in several phases. If you thought the application it's really a big project, divide it in several phases. If it's really something easy, you don't need to divide it. It depends on the scenario. Then you need to start working on the wireframe, and there is a lot of tool. It's free. Just Google a wireframe tool, a free tool, and you will find a lot of tools that really easy to use. Then after this, start to build the user interface, because for me, I like to make my application really pretty with a lot of colors. So I'm spending most of my things on just imagine how my application will look like. Some people, they don't care. They just want to have something run and any application without caring about the designing. But trust me, the user interface is the most important things actually, because the people, if you want the user to use your application in a lot of time, so make sure you have a really pretty user interface. Okay, then build your application by using Power Apps and make it functional. It depends on your scenario. Maybe you will take maybe 2 to 3 days. If you are a beginner, maybe you will spend more time but while you are learning. You don't need to be an advanced level to start build your application. No, which is we will learn it while we are doing a session for Power Apps by next time. Then share your application before you publish it with your friends. See what's their feedback, what you can add, what you can remove before you publish your application to a lot of people. So any question here before we do a live demo? Any question, anything? Let me check the chat window if we have any question. If you have any question, just raise your hand okay, cool. Let us move. So how we can start, or from where can I get an access to Power Apps? Let me open here. First of all, you need to, this one, you need to get a license from Office 365. You can, I would like to share with you one link so you can go through it and see. After this session, I will share the link on the meetup under this course with the all useful link that you can go through it. Within Microsoft side, there is a lot of different license there. You can check from where you can get the Power Apps license and see what's the difference between the license that we have it on Microsoft. So for me, I'm using E5 to get the Power Apps, all the Power Platform tools. Then you will be able to find Power Apps tool from here. near to the Office 365. After you have the license, after you open it, you can download Power Apps Studio, or you can work on it online. For me, I prefer to work on it online. It's for me, it's much faster. So when you open Power Apps here, you will be able to see a blank app or app with the template. So Power Apps, they already create a lot of templates for us. So you can start building your application by using any template. So for example, let me select here, and you have two styles, for the phone or for tablet or desktop. Let us see from here. So you can go here and check. There's a several template with the several scenario. And I will arrange a specific session how we can build our application from any templates that build in Power Apps. But today I will just guide you on how we can open the Power Apps, what kind of template we have, and so on. Let me go back. For example, I decide that I would like to create an application by using a phone and phone style, and it's blank from here. Click here. And yeah, one step, you need to think about what kind of data source you will use. For example, here, I would like to work on a project, which is the same project that I mentioned at the beginning. It's about tracking assets. So I would like to create this application. I have my wireframe here, which is to track an asset, check all assets. So check all assets, to track asset, add a new asset. And for all assets, I would like to see any asset that it's stored on my data source. Like the question here is, what kind of data source should I use? For me, or for most my applications, actually, I'm using a SharePoint. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the SharePoint, but it's SharePoint. It's a place that you can create a list, you can save your data source. So I'm dealing with the SharePoint as a data source for my application. And why I'm using SharePoint, which is SharePoint is online, not Excel, because it's much faster. There's a lot of function there. And within the second session, we will go through SharePoint, why I'm using a SharePoint instead of using other data source. You can use SQL data source. It's up to you at the end and your scenario that you have it. Then I would like to scan the code that I have it. While I'm adding any new asset, I would like to generate a barcode. This function is available in SharePoint. For any item that I'm adding to my list or to the SharePoint, by default, there will be a barcode generator. Don't worry, later on, I will guide you on how we can do all these magic things. Today, I just want you to know there's something easy to learn. There's a useful tool that you can build your application. So I will not go in much deep and make you confused about all this tool. Okay, so what you will do, as I mentioned, you create your wireframe. So you are sure what you want to build on your Power Apps. Then from here, what you will be able to see, there's something we call preview. It's the page here. You have all the pages or all screens for your application. And if you want to add more screen from here, there is a specific template, or if you want to add or build your own, you can add a blank and start build your things. And the screen one, it's the meaning, if you open the application as an end user, screen one, it's mean this is the first screen the user will see it. So if I want to move this one to be as a main page, I click here, move it up. So you cannot put here main screen and screen 2. It means this one will be the second screen for the user. No, the first screen with the main button and everything will be the main screen for the user. So which is here screen 2. Okay, what else we have here? Here we have a data source. It means what kind of connectors you can add, Office 365 users, Power Automate, a lot of things, more and more connectors you can add. If you would like to add a video or images or anything, you will be able to add it to your application. What else we have here? Actually, I would like to share with you one application, but most of my application is for my business. So it's my company, so it's confidential. I cannot share with you. Later on, when we start build our application, or I can build a custom application for you and show you how we can do something really fun with the Power Apps. And you can check my all my promo videos on my YouTube channel. It's all built by using Power Apps actually. So just have a look at it before you attend the next session. What else we have here? We have a media collection. Everything you will learn it while we are building the application. And what else? Any questions so far here? Okay, so from here, from file, you can save your application. You can add icons to your application, change the color, description, and all these things. And if you want to change the orientation for your application, you can do it easily from here. And there's a lot of tricks. We have it on Power Apps. You can do it. For example, here 500 value, we have it here. You can increase it to be 2. Okay. So here it means while we are using gallery. What's gallery? I will explain it on upcoming session while we are doing the application together. What else? We have a collection. You can save it. And the question here, let's assume that I build my application and I would like to share it with my colleague. How they can access the application as an end user from their phone? There is a Power Apps. It's available on App Store. If you are using iPhone, even it's available for other phones. Just type Power Apps. They can go there. They need to have their email and they need to have their license. And by searching the name of your application, and for sure you need to give an access to your application to everyone or to the specific people, and they will be able to just see your application and start working on it. And if you are working on a specific company and they have already a license for Office 365, for sure you will be able to find it easily. Just go to Office 365, and from here you will click on it and you will find all the Power Apps, Power BI. It depends if your company, they already having this license. And let me go back to my slide and see. Okay. So I will give you a small homework if you are interested to attend this next session, which is will be build your first application by using Power Apps. What I would like you to do is think about a problem, think about how you will solve it. Don't make it a big problem, just a small idea or small problem. Start build your wireframe and user interface. It doesn't mean that you want to create it by using XD. You can build it by using a PowerPoint or something really basic, and think about it. Okay. While you are thinking, by the next session, maybe it will be next week. You can track it on Meetup and or Twitter. I will announce it there, and think about it. And make sure you will have a Power Apps license. Or what I can do, if you are interested, I will create an environment. And you just need to share your email with me, and I can add you to this environment, and we can start build the application together. It will be really fun, and you will learn while you are creating an application. We will create something really basic, and it will be like to teach you how to start building the application in an easiest way. And we will use a SharePoint. So read more about SharePoint. What's the SharePoint? And yes, this is what we have today. Any question? Any question? Anything you want to add? Let me open the chat window. And please make sure, if you are interested on all Power Platform, follow hashtag Power Addicts. Me and a lot of people from Power Addicts, they are posting a lot of useful link. I learned a lot of things from this community actually. And you can follow me on Twitter, Mail Hajri too, LinkedIn, even on YouTube. I'm posting a lot of videos related to Power Apps, Power Platform.